James Melendez, James the Wine Guy, 3 wines from Australia, Victoria, Australia to be precise. Stay tuned for the review of these 3 wines. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm actually going to put some of these off the camera to the stage right. What we start off with first is a Pinot Noir. Now MWC stands for McPherson Wine Company. Here's a front label. It's kind of this chalkboardy looking front label. This is a Victoria 2014 Pinot Noir, which you don't often associate having Pinot Noir from Australia. So there's, people are surprised to find Pinot Noir in Australia, but it definitely grows in Australia. In fact, Australia grows almost every single variety, Vitis vinifera variety out there. And I think that's a really remarkable part of Australia. I think Australian winemakers are completely adventurous, willing to try and test and produce amazing wines. And in fact, this is the first, these bottles here are the first Australian wines in 2016. Wait, this is November. This is crazy. I did put it on my wish list for the beginning of the year. I do that every single year. I taste very little Australian wines compared to, say, a decade ago, or even a generation ago, where I was tasting probably a majority of the wines I was tasting, believe it or not, were Australian wines. It's a fantastic provenance of tasting beautiful wines. Back label for you to see right here, MWC Pinot Noir 2014 vintage Victoria. Now this is a 13.5% ABV wine. I definitely love the provenance of this wine. I love the characteristics. This is not going to be a California Pinot Noir. It's not going to be a New Zealand Pinot Noir. It is Victoria Pinot Noir, and I think that's a wonderful thing. Great experience. So here we go with this wine. 91 points I'm going to start off with. So I'm going to tell you first about the scent characterization, followed by the flavor profile, and then we'll talk about the 2 wines after that. So on this wine here, fantastic notes of rose petal, black cherry, lavender, violets, spice rack, and cedar. Those very identifiable Pinot Noir notes are really evident here. Next, the flavor characterization. I'm getting notes of black cherry confit, blackberry, cinnamon, pepper, clove, and rose petal. Again, 91 points out of 100 points. Fantastic wine, and $15 a bottle here in the United States. I think it's a really remarkable price point for the quality of wine you're getting. So here's a Cabernet Sauvignon. All the wines are screw cap, which I think is a really cool thing. I love screw cap. I believe that there is so many amazing Cabernet Sauvignons that come from Australia and Bordeaux varieties, and I think of it this way, that is, if Australia can do a handsome job with Rhone varieties, why not with Bordeaux varieties and other varieties, the Italian and the Spanish varieties, and they do quite a number of those as well. But I think this is really that proof positive that you're getting a beautiful bottle of wine, and also a good price point, $15. And front label is MWC Cabernet Sauvignon Victoria 2015 vintage. Here's a back label for you to look at. Now it's 14.5% ABV, 100% Cabernet Sauvignon, and an elegant, beautiful snapshot of this wine is, I think it's really identifiably Cabernet Sauvignon. And point score is 91 points out of 100 points. So really gorgeous notes on this wine. Boysenberry, blackberry, freshly sanded cedar, dense forest, and freshly ground spices. Next, the flavor characterization. Notes on this wine include red, black cherry, bay leaf, tarragon, pepper, and cinnamon. And I love the differentiation between the scent and the flavor profile. Very different, and not so radically different, but I think different enough that I think that's the elegance and beauty of tasting wines and the complexity of tasting wines. And again, this is a Cabernet Sauvignon at $15. It's a great price point. And next is the Shiraz Mourvedre wine. So in this wine here, now this is MWC's Shiraz Mourvedre 2014 vintage. 95% of this is Shiraz, 5% is Mourvedre. Backlit right here, 14.5% ABV, and I think that obviously can be labeled just as Shiraz, but for me, I think it's a really nice touch to put the Mourvedre on the label, because often I think, including myself, I'm thinking, okay, when I see Shiraz, I'm thinking there's a little bit of Viognier there. I love that Shiraz to Viognier. How did that begin? That's just such a great touch, a very Australian touch to Shiraz. This touch of Mourvedre, I think, is really superb and gives a lot to the wine. And I think it really, is it 15%, 20%? No, because I think it's characterized differently. I think it's really just to give some uplift to the wine. This point score is 92 points out of 100 points. First, the scent characterization, followed by the flavor profile. So here we go. On this, I'm getting notes of blackberry acai, underbrush, forest floor, and rose garden. Next, the flavor characterization. characterization on this wine is that blackberry, raspberry, currant, red tea, pepper, cardamom, and bay leaf. Fantastic wine, 92 points out of 100 points. Love these wines. I think they're fantastic. Also, $15. I think it's a complete bargain. That's the wonderful thing about MWC wines. That I think they're coming to the United States, imported at $15 a bottle. I think this is a really handsome, gorgeous bottling of the Pinot Noir, the Cabernet Sauvignon in this amazing bottle, Shiraz Mourvedre. Stay tuned for more reviews to come. I cannot believe it. November 2016, my first bottles of Australian wine. That's completely wrong. I'm here to solve that. So next year, you know, Shiraz and Australian wines are at the beginning of the year. I'm just going to find a way to do that. I'm programming that on my wine racetrack, so I memorialize much more quickly and much more often throughout the year, because Australia is not just a continent of wine producers, it's a continent with many appellations and many characterizations that come from those different appellations. So thank you for watching. I really appreciate your support. Questions and comments down below, and I'll put more information on the producer down below. Subscribe button's right up here, so please hit that button if you haven't done so already. Like button's down below, so please hit that button. I really appreciate that. So thank you for your support. Stay tuned for more reviews to come. Let's have a conversation. I'm on many social media such as Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Pinterest, LinkedIn, as well as Instagram and WordPress. Stay tuned for more. Something.